everyone and welcome back. If you are new here then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today we are following another celebrity's makeup tutorial, and today I have picked the one and only Kim Kardashian. So the makeup look which I have chosen is this one right here. It's actually on Vogue's YouTube channel and it was in December 2018 actually, but I haven't been able to find many makeup tutorials where she does a full face herself. I chose this one in particular because it's using more cool tones, which I don't feel that comfortable in using, and I don't use cool tones that often. So I thought it would be quite interesting to try this one out. I have watched it already because I needed to get the products ready, which I'm going to be using. I think I've got pretty much everything throughout my whole eyeshadow and palette collection. I only had one grey eyeshadow, which shows how much I love cool tones. So I think we should just get started. If you liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up and a comment down below of how well I did. I really hope you do enjoy today's video, and let's just get straight into it. So to me it already looks like Kim's done her eyebrows already, so I have just penciled mine in and then popped some brow gel on. She does brush them through later on, but I'm pretty sure they're already done. So the first thing that she does do is apply moisturiser. So I have moisturised already, but I'm just going to apply a little bit more because she does the same. So this is a simple Sensitive Skin Experts Hydrating Moisturiser. So I will pop this on. One thing that me and Kim actually do have in common is that we both do get psoriasis on our face. I get mine mainly around my foreheads and my foreheads. I've only got one forehead, and my temples. So that is one thing we both do get. So hydration and a lot of moisturiser for me is key. Next, she moves on to foundation. So I am going to mix the MAC Studio Fix Fluid with a little bit of the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops because I don't have much of this left. So she mixes hers on the back of her hand as well, which I do sometimes like to do, but with foundation I think it can be quite messy sometimes. If I'm sitting down to do my makeup, then I like to put it on a palette or something. And she also uses like a flat top sort of kabuki brush. So we will start to apply this all over. She also goes over her lips as well. Usually I'll apply my foundations with sponge 90% of the time, but Kim is using a brush today, so we are going to do exactly as she does. She also takes some over her eyes as well. So next she just brushes through her brows. I do think they were already done. Okay, what's next? Okay, so next she moves on to concealer. I'm going to use the C6 in my Makeup Revolution, and it looks like she puts quite a bit on her under eye, so I'm going to do the same. And she does get right in this inner corner as well. And then she just does a little bit at the middle of her forehead, and then just a little bit the side of her mouth. I usually do my chin and my nose as well, but Kim's not doing that today, so that's not what we're doing. So then for her beauty blender, to me her sponge doesn't look that wet because it doesn't look that big. So I'm just going to spray mine. She sprays hers with the Tatcha Glowy Skin Mist, I think, but I don't have that, so I'm just going to use some Primark primer water, and I'm just going to spray some on my sponge. Okay, so she starts with her under eyes first, and she also brings it onto her eyelids as well. So any excess I'm just going to bring up onto my eyelid. Am I looking like Kim yet, guys? I feel like her concealer is maybe a little bit more full coverage than mine, so I might just apply a little bit more to my under eyes. Yeah, I'm just going to apply a little bit more to my under eye. I am quite dark in my under eye area at the moment. Okay, that's looking nice and bright. Okay, then last thing for concealer, she does take quite a bit over her lips. So we will do exactly that. Can anybody remember in school when concealer lips was a trend. I can't even believe we used to do that now. We literally used to have our lips like this. No lip liner, nothing, just pure concealer lips. Let me know down in the comments if you used to do that in school, because I used to get told off for it all the time, but I literally can't imagine going out like this now. Okay, what's next? Come on, Kim. Okay, so next is baking time. Now I would save this until after I've done all my powder, but Kim does the under eyes first, so we're just going to do exactly as she does. I haven't got a powder puff either, which I think she's using in the video, so I'm just going to use my beauty blender, and she uses quite a bit on the under eye. So let's pack some of this on. This is a lot more than I would ever usually wear. I don't even really bake that often anyway, so it already feels quite tight on my skin. So we'll see how this one turns out. I think that contour is next, so let's have a look. Okay, yeah, so next is cream contour. I'm going to use my Insta Rimmel contour stick because she uses her own contour stick, but I don't have those. So I'll just do a little bit down here, and then she also comes down and down her jawline as well. I'm guessing to make it look a little bit sharper, and she does join it too, you see. And she also uses this to contour her lips as well, so let's do. I feel like I can't blend this up onto my cheeks like I want to because the powder's there and it won't blend. Oh, blend, blend, blend. This is literally not blending very well. And then I didn't see her blend out a lip contour, but I'm guessing that she did, so I'm just gonna tap over it with my sponge. Okay, I have no idea how that looks. I think I've blended most of it. Okay, what is next? So now she goes in with more powder and uses this to set the whole face. So I'm not going to use a lot, just going to pick up some, tap off the excess on my hand, and then just tap this all over the skin. She does bake this jawline area as well because the next clip shows it with it on. It doesn't show her actually doing it, so I'm just going to apply a little bit just to sharpen up this area. So she definitely has a bake here coming down to her mouth. Okay, so now we're moving on to bronzer before we've removed any of this bake, which just feels really weird to me. I'm going to use Cappuccino bronzer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Kim says that she applies her bronzer in a 3 motion as well, so around her forehead, onto her cheeks and onto her jawline, which I actually do this as well. So let's start blending this. I have got another bronzer just in case this one isn't the one, but I wouldn't necessarily do my bronzer down onto my cheeks now before I've removed like any of the bake. It just feels a bit weird to me. I feel like it's not going to be as blended as I want it to be. Like my forehead is not blended at all, so I apologise in advance. Okay, and then before we move on to the eyes, she does just dust off any of this excess powder and she brushes it down rather than upwards, so we'll brush all that away. She moves on to eyes next, and she leaves her bake on while she does her eyes. I feel like on me it's becoming quite tight because I am so dry underneath that area, so we'll see how it turns out later on. She goes in with like quite a neutral cool tone shadow, and I could only find out of all the eyeshadows that I've got one grey-ish eyeshadow. So this is Bedrock from Makeup Geek. The one that she's using looks a little bit darker, so I can darken it up if I need to a bit later on. And she just goes in with a fluffy brush and she's doing quite a nice like smoky eye, which I love. So she builds it up quite a bit in this inner corner actually, and then she goes through her crease and then she does build it up on her outer lid as well. Don't actually think this is a bad colour choice. She does get quite deep in this inner corner though, I don't usually do that. I actually go towards cool tones ever, really. I think because my hair is quite warm, I never feel like cool tones is ever going to suit me. But then sometimes you do surprise yourself. Okay, so she kind of blends it sort of towards the end of her eye and then just sort of tapers it off. She doesn't really wing it out or anything. So I think I'm just going to leave it there. So next she applies a highlighter shade, and I'm going to use this one from the Conspiracy palette. I'm just going to use Ranch, which is that one in the inner corner, and Kim applies a little bit too much of this at first. So I'm just going to take my time with it. I'm not going to apply too much. Taking a tiny bit and just highlighting just under the brow. And I feel like around the eyes, Kim uses her hands quite a lot and her fingers to blend. Next she goes back in with the grey and she smokes out her under eyes, and she does get right into this inner corner, almost so the shadow is sort of joining all the way around. So I will do that. She also blends her eyeshadow down quite far, which I do like to do that because I do feel like it hides my under eyes creases quite well, because my under eye creases are the worst. Okay, so next for the centre of her eye, she uses a cream shadow, like a bronzy colour. I don't have the one that she's using, but I do have one that's really similar. So this is the Beauty Boulevard Molten Metal Glitter Eyeshadow in Emelise. And she just applies this down the centre and then pats it out with her finger. So she just does a line down the centre and then just pats it over with her finger. I do like the fact that she uses her fingers quite a lot to blend. Sometimes just using your finger does make it just a little bit easier. Okay, then she uses a shimmery shadow over the top. To me, it does look a little bit more on the silvery side, but she says it's sort of more goldy green. So I'm just going to stick to the more silvery tones because I never use cool tones, so it's nice to use something different. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of Diet Cola. This is from the Conspiracy palette as well. This is quite metallic, so I'm only just using a little bit, and then she just presses that over where she's just applied glitter cream shadow. I actually quite like that. Okay, next she lines her waterline with a black pencil, and she does get right into this inner corner. So I think I'm just going to do bottom and top. So I feel like maybe she does do that, I'm not sure. If anyone can do this without opening their mouth at the same time, then please let me know, because you are a wizard. So next we are curling lashes, and she has like the longest lashes I've ever seen. So I'm just going to give mine a really good curl. Okay, and then she applies a lot of mascara. So to build my lashes up, my favourite one is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. So I'm going to just use that one. She uses two different ones, but I don't have the ones that she uses. So let's just build ours up so they look nice and long. Like, my lashes are quite long, but because I am red haired, my lashes are so pale and you can't even see them half the time. Okay, so that's one coat. I think I'm just going to let that dry and then do a second coat. So while that's drying, I'll do my bottom lashes, and she also applies quite a lot to the bottom as well. If you can do this without your mouth open, then let me know. It's literally impossible. Yeah, my lashes definitely are not as long as Kim's. Okay, so I don't see her wiping off her under eye bake, but she's already moving on to brightening powder underneath. So I'm just going to dust this off because I'm guessing that she's already done that. Okay, I have tried to blend this contour a little bit. It doesn't look as bad as it does on the camera. It literally looks like just a straight ass line. But I'm hoping with blush and everything later, it might work out a little bit okay. So next she just goes in with a brightening powder just right underneath the eye. So I'm going to use this banana powder from the NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt. And I do already feel like they are quite bright, so I'm just going to pat it in just here. Definitely don't want to be emphasising this bronzer situation going on. So for lip liner, she does quite a dark lip liner, like a proper 90s lip. So I'm going to use the Kylie Cosmetics Dolce K, and I'm going to line sort of where we did that contour earlier. And she kind of does the outer rim. And then on the Cupid's bow area, she says that she fills that in more than tries to define it. I won't do mine as prominent as I usually would. And then she kind of fills in the outer corners. And then again, with her finger, just blends it in. So for lipstick, she does use quite of a fleshy nude. So I'm using this from Primark. It's in the shade Naked Flame. And I'm just going to pat this all over. So moving on to blush, Kim uses one from NARS, but she does say it has a sheen to it. So I'm going to use Luinoso from Milani because this does have a little bit of a sheen to it. Hopefully it might disguise my terrible bronzer and contour. And she's not too precise with it, so I'm just going to apply it like to my cheeks and then back into my bronzer. Next we're doing a little bit of nose contouring, so I'm just going to take us a light coloured bronzer. She goes like down the sides of her nose, and then she goes underneath and joins it on top to get a little button nose. Next is highlighter. I'm just going to use a little bit of Champagne Pop. So she does her cheeks, and I don't feel like she wears too much highlighter, and then she does go down her nose as well, and just a little bit on her Cupid's bow. And then she does lighten the lips a little bit more, so I don't have a lighter lipstick, but I'm just going to use a bit of concealer just to tap over the centre. And the final thing, she does do a little bit of gloss, so I'm just going to use the Diamond Gloss in Adorn from Beauty Boulevard, and I'm just going to pat this on the centre because I don't think she uses a lot. Okay guys, so what do you think? I don't actually think it looks that unsimilar to what she was wearing. I do like the cool tones as well. I think they look really nice. I do wish everything was blended a little bit more. I definitely could have blended a lot better today. I definitely could have done better in the blending area, but other than that, I think I did alright. Let me know how you think I did down in the comments. I will also leave the original video down in the description, but please give it a big thumbs up if you did like it and subscribe, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!